Hey guys, welcome to Erin's Test Kitchen. One thing that has always given me pause at the grocery store are all these different gluten-free flour mixes. Bob's Red Mill was the only one, the only name in the grocery stores that was actually doing any business, and it is the one that I typically use the most at the bakery. And the reason is it uses a bean flour mix. It's garbanzo and fava bean flour, and for some reason the protein in that gives more lift to the baked goods. But back in, I think it must have been around 2012, this product entered the market, and it was Cup for Cup by a famous chef. Who was it? All right, so Cup for Cup, Thomas Keller. So he does French laundry, he's super fancy chef. He decided to create his own all-purpose gluten-free flour mix because he was seeing gluten-free as a trend that was growing. For some reason, Bob's Red Mill decided to come up with another Cup for Cup that is more confusing for me as a baker, because I'm like, what? You already have one, but now there's this one. Bake one of my tried and true recipes that always works is for pumpkin bread, and since it's sweater weather.
Oh God, I would
Finally, sweater weather. We're gonna get into it with that as the first recipe. So let's go. So I designed these in my mind when I was pregnant with my third child. I got a vision of this bright red vinyl apron that I desperately wanted to create. We also sell them on our website. You can wipe it clean, it doesn't take stains, and you can also machine wash it. So we're gonna start with Bob's Red Mill. Again, this one is a bean flour mix, and the reason I like that so much is not only because it adds protein, but protein for some reason in baking creates a lot of, I don't know, it creates like a fluffiness that you don't get with rice flour. So here's 1 cup. We're doing Bob's Red Mill, 1 for 1. I think they were copying Thomas Keller a little bit with the branding. I'm like, Bob, you don't have to do that. You're the first one. You're the original. You don't have to copy. And one thing that, oops, Daisy. Oops. One thing that I was kind of surprised about was that Bob's did this with all rice flour, which is, to me, rice flour is cheaper. I understand why they did it, because they probably want to do a better price point, but it's also really gummy. So I'm curious to see how this bakes out. Thomas Keller's Cup for Cup. This is also mostly rice flour. And to me, when I see a recipe that's gluten-free and it only has rice flour in it with starch, it always makes me think that the person doesn't know what they're doing. But this is Thomas Keller, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. But I think it's gonna be gummy. That's my prediction. Then we are going to do 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Only in this original Bob's Red Mill one, I'm gonna add xanthan gum because the other 2 already have xanthan gum in it. It's gonna be 1/8 a teaspoon. I don't have the measure for that, but I'm an expert. Listen, I just moved into my house. I don't have actual salt that's in a normal container, so I'm using this, but I know how many cranks I'm gonna do. So it's 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of, I'm taking a shortcut today. I'm gonna do pumpkin spice, but typically we use our own blend. It's cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger. So 2 teaspoons of this. 2. All right. So I'm using refined coconut oil, and I've been using this for 20 years. It's kind of like my miracle oil. So this is 2.5 tablespoons of oil per recipe. I want to know one thing. Canned pumpkin is most often sweet potato. It'll be labeled as pumpkin, but it's actually sweet potato. So if you see sweet potato, canned puree, just use that. Don't worry about it. It's the same thing. You can ask the internet. Spreading. I'm like, how are they not getting sued for that? Maybe we can start a class action lawsuit. Oh my God, I have so many good ideas. Focus. You might also notice that I'm not precise like a lot of bakers are, and it's because I've learned over the years that it's like it really doesn't matter that much if you're a little pinch off or over. It matters for things like cookies, but with cakes, not really. All right, and then vanilla. Ooh, I'm gonna do a tablespoon.
2 shots of vodka.
I know that's a lot, but I use a lot. I think gluten-free sometimes needs a little more help. There's one. Hang on. This guy, I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna use different spatulas for each of them. Here's this one. This is Bob's Red Mill, cup for cup. And then this is gonna be Thomas Keller's cup for cup. It's a lot drier. Wow. I'm gonna start with 2 on each. 1, 2. So you can use also rice milk or soy milk or almond milk. Just don't use coconut milk because it's too heavy and it makes it really super gummy. So with the reason I add water is it helps the batter lift off in the oven. Like it makes it fluffier. Sometimes if you don't have enough moisture in it, it'll come out like all deflated and lumpy looking. Okay, so that's garbanzo fava bean flour base. This is Bob's Red Mill flour, cup for cup. That only has 2 tablespoons of water in it. Okay, that looks pretty good. That's the consistency you want. Like that. Thomas Keller's. Yeah, so we'll do 4 in here. I have bad energy from this one. It's sopped up all that water already. I had a dream when I turned 30. That was about a year into the bakery. That I had to have kids. It said, it's time to have kids now. And I said, I don't want to have kids. I'll have a muffin instead. And then in my dream, it cut to me and a muffin, and we were holding hands crossing the street. And I realized that the muffin was going to die after 2 days, and that I was looking for lifelong companionship from my child. It was really... I was in therapy over that for a long time. Okay, anyway, here we go. This is already, I don't like it. It's really like super gummy. It shouldn't need this much water, but I'm gonna add more water because it needs to have a loose consistency for it to actually have a chance in the oven. Okay, so here we go. I think that's it. Any more is gonna kind of lose integrity. Okay, so I'm gonna put these in the pan. Be right. So this thing is about a 1/4 cup measure, and I'm gonna get these in the oven. Okay, so just don't ever go higher than half full in the tin, or else it's gonna sort of overflow. Bob's, Thomas Keller's cup for cup. But look at, it's kind of like how you see how it's like gloppy. It's really having a hard time getting out of the, okay, well. 350 degrees, it's gonna be probably about 20 minutes, but I'm gonna check it at 18 minutes. Stand here for 18 minutes. I'm gonna make the icing really quick, and this is just a quick and dirty recipe. This is 2 cups of powdered sugar, vegan powdered sugar, 2 cups of that, and I'm gonna start with a 1/4 cup of dairy-free milk. You can use almond milk, oat milk, soy milk, rice milk, even coconut milk. Coconut milk is gonna make it more tropical tasting though. Where's my vanilla? Shoot. Tablespoon of vanilla. Okay, get really thick because it just looks prettier after you ice it. There you go, just like that. Remember I said Thomas Keller was gonna be lumpy, and look at it, it's lumpy. Okay, this is the Bob's Red Mill brown rice flour, cup for cup, which looks fine. And then again, I said the bean flour gives an extra lift, and look, you all saw me pan them. It was the same amount in all of them, and this is so fluffy, and it's just gonna be more airy. Thomas Keller's lumpy. This is Bob's Red Mill. The texture on the outside feels pretty good, actually. And one thing I really like about rice flour is it adds like a crunchy texture, so I'm not mad about that. But again, this is the Bob's Red Mill, the one I usually use, and it's a bean flour mix, and it's fluffier. I can tell it's softer, but we're gonna ice them and taste it. It's pretty gummy, but might taste good. This one's already a lot lighter than Bob's. The crumb is like bouncier. And then the lightest for sure. All right, so I'm gonna try them all. I'm a texture person, and that tastes like what people say they expect with gluten-free. It's really like gummy and dense. Very light. 100 times better than the other Bob's one. When you get a rice flour based recipe, it's like the crumbs all like they like clutch together almost. I can't describe it, but so we have a winner. It is Bob's Red Mill classic gluten-free flour mix with the bean flour, and I kind of knew it. I knew it was going to come in at top, but you know, I had to put it all to the test. The second runner-up is Bob's Cup for Cup all rice flour mix, and then coming in last is Thomas Keller's gluten-free all-purpose mix. And Thomas, I know that you're a top chef, but like, leave the baking to us, okay? Thanks. And just be sure to subscribe and comment if you have any other ingredients that you want me to test out in Erin's Test Kitchen. I'm all ears. Okay. She ate it and left no crumbs. Which one? Okay, she's gonna do something.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Well. All right, good job. Give me 5. Give me paw. 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 It's been a long time. Other paw. Good girl. Okay. You're a good girl.